Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post another quick video here. This is just going to be a recent finds video. Stuff I've picked up. I don't know, it's been probably a few weeks now since I've done my last recent finds video. Um, Obviously, a lot of you that have followed my channel for quite some time know I'm not doing recent find videos as frequently, mainly because I'm not picking up stuff as frequently anymore. Between kind of the purge process and being so much more picky in the things that I pull in, it's just new stuff that just doesn't come in as fast. But the stuff that does come in, definitely a lot better quality, which is nice. So I'm definitely liking the way my collection's going in that regard. So here are just a few things that I picked up, and I'm actually going to show a few CDs that I picked up too, because I had a some nice additions to my collection on the CD side this time as well. So I'm going to share a few of those. So, and one thing I did want to say too before I even jump into that, because it was really kind of funny and I thought it was a cool thing. I did my Rush box set video a few days ago, just showing that homemade Rush set that I had, and just kind of showed all the albums and everything else. And I just found it really cool. It made me laugh, and it also just kind of reminded me and reiterated why I love the VC so much. Is because I've shown that set to people that have come by to visit and that type of thing, and people are like, oh, it's really neat and it's very creative, really cool. That's a lot of Rush albums and blah blah blah. But I just thought it was so cool and kind of funny when I put that video up. I think the Music Vault was one person that left a comment on there that said something to the effect of, it was like cool set, neat, blah blah blah, and then he said something to the effect of, but where's Exit Stage Left? And it was just kind of funny because it hit me. I was like, I don't have Exit Stage Left. And I went back and looked through the thing, and I was like, holy cow, I don't have Exit Stage Left. And it just made me laugh so hard because it was like, most people that will see that set or just see all those albums, just like, whoa, that's a lot of, you must really like Rush, blah blah blah. But not the VC freaks. The VC freaks look at that and go, wait, where's Exit Stage Left? It's like they're not distracted by that at all. And it just made me laugh my tail off because I was just like, this is why I love these freaks in the VC, because they're freaks just like me, and it's like we get each other. So I thought that was really really cool, and it made me laugh so hard, man. So thanks so much for that comment and pointing that out too, because it just didn't even crossed my freaking mind. I purged my other copy of Exit Stage Left, which was kind of in okay condition, and just totally forgot to pick up a vinyl copy. So I will be trying to get my hands on one of those pretty soon. And it was another one too. I actually just read it a few minutes ago. I think it was one Marathon, I think was his name, and he made kind of a similar comment too. He was like, neat set, blah blah blah, but if that's in chronological order, shouldn't Fly By Night be before Crescent? I'm like, you freak, yes. And I love you too now. Oh man, so I just wanted to give those two guys a shout out. I mean, there's a bunch of people made a lot of great comments, and I thank everyone for that. But just those two making those comments, like I said, it was just one of those things where it's like, it just reminded me like why I love the VC so much, and why I love the other music nerds and music freaks out there, because those are the kind of people I want to communicate and share stuff like that and notice stuff like that. So I thought that was awesome. So I had to give a shout out to you two guys. I really appreciate that. But let me kind of dive into the recent finds. I don't want to take up too much time here. We will start off with a great reissue, Sam's Town by the Killers. Really the one album that I like by them. I'm a fan of the band, but I'm not as much of a fan of most of their albums after this. This was the one that kind of brought me in and just kind of where I stayed. And songs like When You Were Young was the one I remember hearing the most. But my favorite song off of this album is Bling, Confession of a King. I think that's just an awesome song, great album. And I really like this album too, because there's a lot of R&B hidden within this album that I think doesn't necessarily get recognized or get the credit that it deserves. But there's a very, very strong R&B popish element that's hidden in a lot of the stuff that they do on this album, which is maybe why I kind of like it so much. And I was also glad they reissued it with the regular cover, because I did pull this out. Oh, it's right here. You know, I bought this album about, well, before I moved here, so well over 5 or 6 years ago. And I remember it had like a generic picture on the, you know, the listing on eBay, and I bought it. And then this is what came in, which is basically, not basically, it's a picture disc. I remember how I was so pissed off when that happened because, as you guys know, I can't stand picture disc. So I think I played it maybe once or so, and it's just been kind of sitting ever since. So I thought, since I was showing that Sam's Town, that I would pull this out too. So if there are any picture disc lovers, let me know. I'll be more than happy to work out a trade with something else that you have, because this is probably one of the worst purchases I feel like I've ever made, because I was so disappointed when it came in. Moving right along, The Stone Ponies Evergreen Volume 2. Found this at a local store, marked really cheap. Matter of fact, I thought there was something wrong with it when I first saw the price that was on it. It was in a new arrivals bin, but perfect condition, mint album. And yeah, of course, this is early Linda Ronstadt, whom for some reason over the past 6 months or year or so I've just become obsessed with, and I have no idea why. But just a fantastic album. You know, the one song that most people probably recognize off of this is Different Drum. That was a pretty popular track. But yeah, just a great original pressing, vinyl in mint condition. So really nice grab there. As well as this one here, which is The Stone Ponies featuring Linda Ronstadt. Really, really cool stuff. Definitely kind of between the two albums, somewhat of a mixture of, you know, kind of hippie, folky type stuff, along with Linda's kind of somewhat, I don't know, soulful, jazzy kind of thing. I mean, it's just works really well together. A couple of artist completion pieces here. Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Los Angeles. Of course, everyone knows that one. And Renegades. So that kind of completes my Rage on vinyl, which is nice. So, and where these two came from, as well as a few others, just another really quick story. There's a guy at a local record store who I'm, you know, really good friends with the owner. I mean, they're great guys. You know, kind of every time we see each other, we shake hands, and you know how you know, all that good stuff. Just great guys. But they told me that they bought a new metal collection and a new hard rock metal collection that they were going to be putting out soon. And so I checked in a couple of times, and they were like, you know, no, we haven't got through processing it yet. But he said, I tell you what, I'll text you before we put it out so you can be the first one to dig through it. I'm like, cool. So towards the end of a work day, one day, he texts me, we're going to put this out in the next 30 minutes. I text him back, I'll be there in 29 minutes. And so I went down there and started digging through it. And it was a lot of great stuff. It was a great hard rock metal collection. And I'd also been telling our boy here in the VC, Billy Hurst, about it. And he was like, well, let me know, because I want to come down there and, you know, dig with you. Well, he happened to be really busy that day when it came out. You know, Billy's all over the place with his job and everything. He has a cool job. It just keeps him really busy. And so I called him up and I was like, you know, dude, they just put out the collection or whatever. And so we ended up just kind of doing his digging over the phone. Like, we were on the phone for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I'm just kind of going through and looking at stuff and telling him what's there and what pressing in it. Okay, let me look that up. And so I don't know if that was Billy's first time digging over the phone like that or not, but I thought it was kind of neat. And he ended up picking up some really cool stuff that I'm sure he'll show you in the future. But yeah, I picked up those 2 Rage pieces from that collection. That was really fun too. I enjoyed doing that. And then I also picked up this Alice in Chains Unplugged. One I've been wanting for a long time. Was just never willing to dish out what it was running. And it wasn't even that expensive in that regard. But yeah, he gave me just a really, really fantastic deal on this, so I ended up picking that up. Also got this Police. You know, again, one of the Japanese pressings, something I'm trying to get more into. And let's see, there's a couple other things I picked up out of that. Oh yeah, this one here, which is the one I think I was most excited about. Rammstein. That was a great find. I've been debating about trying to save up to buy the box set to get this album, and then I found this one that was in that collection. As you can see, perfect condition, vinyl's mint, the whole nine, and of course it has that very popular song "Du Hast," which is the one that everyone knows. But yeah, that was definitely the highlight to me of finds that day. Another nice pickup, DJ Quick. Quick is the name. I didn't know they had reissued this actually, which is very nice. This album, of course, takes me right back into my high school days, boy, because we used to bump the heck out of this. Tonight, Born and Raised in Compton, the whole nine. I mean, this record was the stuff. Also got a copy, a nice reissue of Neil Young's Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. Really, really great reissue. Sounded actually absolutely fantastic. Great songs like Cinnamon Girl, Down by the River, all kinds of great stuff. But yeah, I was actually just like really, really impressed. It was even better than I expected. So a great reissue copy of that. Definitely some good use of the credit there. And then the last couple here, these are just two replacements, stuff that I purged about a year or so ago, and just waiting to find good copies. And one is A Taste of Honey. For those of you that are into the old school R&B, as well as even some kind of the disco thing, you'll definitely remember the hit track off of this, which was Boogie Oogie Oogie. Great track. I mean, what's her name too? She can play the heck out of that bass, man. She tears it up on that song. I actually saw them do a fairly recent performance. Maybe it was like just a few years ago or something, and I mean, they both still look fantastic, and she can still play the heck out of that thing. I mean, just a great classic band. And this is one of those albums that you'll find in dollar bins all over the place, but to find one in perfect condition, perfect cover, perfect vinyl, and all that, that's what has been the challenge for me on this. So I was so happy to find this, which was really, really cool. So I really wanted that back in my collection. And then here's another replacement that I picked up, that I purged some time ago, which is the SOS Band on the Rise. One of my top 5 favorite R&B bands of all time, especially 80s R&B bands, I should say. And this has my favorite song by them, which is Tell Me If You Care. Just a perfect R&B smooth groove hit. So again, it was nice to find a perfect copy of that as well. And it was cool because they were both in the $2.99 bin, and I didn't realize it was buy one get one free. So $1.50 for each one of those was awesome. What else we have here? I guess I can just kind of show this really quick. Just a little Time Life opera piece that I picked up from good old Fielder there. Excuse me, Fielder. And I picked this up because it has the song Ride of the Valkyries on there, which is one of the more popular type of classic songs, classical pieces that most people, when they hear that, they'll go, oh yeah, I remember that Dawn commercial or this movie. You hear it a lot in a lot of TV. So just a track that I happen to like. And the last piece on the vinyl, got this Wayne Newton 3LP box set, which was great too because it was sealed and they were only asking like $8 for it. And I was desperately needing to get some Wayne Newton back in my collection, as I purged all of his albums when I was getting rid of stuff that wasn't in great condition. So glad to have my Wayne back, or at least some Wayne back. Because I'm telling you, you want to see me dance around the house and act like a total idiot, you put on the song Donka Shane by Wayne Newton or Mac the Knife by Barbie Darwin. So I just turned into something else. I love those tracks. Love them to death. So that was the pickups on the vinyl. So let me just kind of jump in and do some really quick stuff on the CDs. It's a nice little box set that I picked up on trade the other day. The Essential Albums for Isaac Hayes. See, just a nice little set. 3 albums, 4 CDs, as you can see there. Butter Hot Soul, Black Moses, and the Shaft soundtrack. So that was a neat pickup. And then a few other, I should say. kind of building on the MoFi collection. I'm still working on that. And so I picked up a copy of Chicago 2. Of course, you guys know this album, 25 or 6 to 4, all that great stuff. Billy Joel the Stranger. Again, one everyone knows. And then I also picked up E-Man Grew by Jimmy Castor Bunch, featuring the Everything Man. If you're not familiar with this, just like the cover kind of looks, you know, just some good old school R&B / funk. So some really good stuff there. And then some other random CDs. You know, there's one store that I've had about $130 something in credit in for quite some time, just because there hasn't been a lot of new stuff coming in that I needed at least. But he bought a huge collection of CDs the other day, which was nice. So I was able to pick up quite a few of those. And one of the things that I picked up was a kind of a Dio collection. So this was really nice, and all of these were, you know, like new, which was great. But I picked up Dream Evil, also The Last Line. Again, classic Dio albums that pretty much everyone knows. Sacred Heart. Strange Highways. Lock Up the Wolves. And those were all the Dio albums I was pretty familiar with, but a couple that I wasn't. Magica, I think that's how you pronounce that. That was a Dio album I just had never heard before. Master of the Moon, another great addition. And Killing Dragon. Or Killing the Dragon, I'm sorry. Yeah, so some really, really great Dio pickups there. And they had one more, the something machine or whatever. Again, another I wasn't quite familiar with, which was the last one I would have needed to complete my Dio collection, the studio album collection. But it had a few scuffs and stuff, so I was like, couldn't get that. But still, some great Dio pickups there. And then again, just kind of a quick flash. Also picked up a White Snake, a Slip of the Tongue, Woodstock 2, little Buster Poindexter. You guys remember what's his name from the New York Dolls? Of course, this has the song Hot, Hot, Hot. This was his, I guess, his alter ego or something. And a nice, you know, Foreigner. I need a copy of that, as well as Steely Dan. And, oh, we got 3 more over here, too. Another one I've been wanting to get for quite some time. Just never found a good one at a cheap price. But the Urban Cowboy soundtrack. I love this soundtrack. Love it. Great stuff on here. And then Bad Company, Run with the Pack. Again, just kind of filling in that collection. And then as well as Cannonball Adderley. Had this on vinyl for quite some time. I just never had a CD. So I found this for $3, and that was a good pickup. So there you go, guys. That's music and good stuff that have come in over the past couple of weeks, as well as some fun times I've had with some of the VC members here over the past week or two. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Day after tomorrow is Christmas, so you guys have a fantastic Christmas. You know, be safe, take care of each other, and we will talk to you soon.